Today we're going to read the story, First Come the Zebra by Lynn Barish. And this is a story about friendship that takes place in Africa in a country called Kenya. And in Kenya there are groups of people or tribes who live in different ways. These two boys are the characters in our story, and their names are Haki and Abani. Abani is a Maasai boy, and Haki is a Kikuyu boy. Their groups often don't get along because the Maasai want their cattle to graze on the grass that grows on the land, and the Kikuyu want to plant crops on the land. So I want you to think about, do you think that these two boys will maybe become friends? Let's start our story. First come the zebra. There's a great picture of what the grassland kind of looks like. I see not a whole lot of trees. I see lots of open fields and hills. This illustration shows us even more about the setting. Remember, our setting is the African grasslands. The sun is rising over the grassland in Kenya. The tall grass is lush and green after the long rainy season. Soon the great migration will begin, and nearly 2 million animals will come from the vast savanna in neighboring Tanzania. The grass there has been grazed down to the ground, so the animals migrate to Kenya, where there is plenty. They have done this for thousands of years. So I'm thinking about that word migrate and migration, and it sounds to me like it means to move from one place to another. First come the zebra. They will eat only the very top of the grass. Then come the wildebeest. They will eat the middle section of the grass. Then come the small Thompson's gazelle. They will eat the final few inches of the grass. Each animal will take only what it needs. By sharing the land, there will be plenty for all. There will be peace among the grazers. So how do the zebras, the wildebeest, and the gazelles get along? What is it that they do so that they can get along and they can all get what they need? Think about that for just a minute. Abani, a young Maasai boy, wakes up in the early morning. He drinks a cup of milk for breakfast and goes outside. He is ready to take the cattle out to graze for the day. Cattle are the wealth of the Maasai. They are a source of food and money. Abani walks alongside his family's small herd with his stick in hand. Here we can see him. You can see him taking out the cattle. I see the stick in his hand. Ahead of him, Abani sees a small roadside stall filled with fruit and vegetables from a Kikuyu farm. He has not seen this stall before today. It tells him there is a new farm nearby. A Kikuyu boy about the same age as Abani is tending the stall. On this page we can see the stall. We can see some of the different fruits and vegetables, and we see the boy. I'm looking at their faces. I'm looking at his face. It looks like he might be angry. I'm wondering what he's going to say. Abani calls out, "Jina langu ni Abani. Jina lako ni nani?" He says, "My name is Abani. Who are you?" The answer comes quickly. "Jina langu ni Haki. My name is Haki." Abani has heard the elders complain about the Kikuyu farmers. He knows that the Kikuyu farmers are planted on grassland the Maasai also need for their cattle to graze. Without thinking, Abani repeats what he has heard others say. "You destroy our land," Abani shouts at Haki. How dare you say that to me? Answers Hockey. You sleep in a hut with your cows. Abani is furious. You crawl in the dirt, he yells. All the while, Abani is walking closer and closer to the stall. He raises his arm. He wishes he had a spear, not just a stick. So now we know why Abani is angry. He did look angry. But does he have a problem? Did Hockey do anything to Abani for Abani to be so upset? So even though they don't know each other, why do you think they're saying mean things to each other? A group of Kamba women approach Hockey's stall. The Kamba are known for their sturdy, handmade baskets called kiondos. The women have come to trade their baskets for some of Hockey's fruit and vegetables. He turns away from Abani to attend to business. As the women are busy unpacking the baskets, a mother puts her baby on the ground to play. The baby is happy to be free. He wanders towards the tall grass. So if you look back at this picture, you can see how the baby had been being carried by his mother. So when she puts him down, why he's so happy to be able to move around, because he couldn't before. A short distance away, 3 warthogs are rooting in the grass for their favorite plants to eat. Abani sees them. He knows that warthogs will attack anything that gets into their territory. Suddenly, Abani notices the baby toddling toward the animals. He cannot run over and lift the baby out of danger without risking both his life and the baby's. If he could distract the warthogs, someone else could grab the baby. There's no time to lose. Oh no, the baby's in danger. What do you think Abani is going to do? Think about it. What is Abani going to do? I'll distract the warthogs, Abani calls to Hockey. You run in and get the baby. Abani lets out a series of screams and advances into the grass, waving his stick. The warthogs turn to chase him. Hockey races in and scoops up the baby in his arms. See, the warthogs are looking at Abani, and there Hockey's able to help the baby. The warthogs grunt and snort loudly as they run after Abani. The Kamba women hear the commotion, and the baby's mother realizes her child is gone. After a moment, Hockey appears. The mother reaches out and takes her baby from him, a grateful smile on her face. And there we can see how the illustrator is showing us that grateful smile. So the picture helps support our text. Then, Hockey grabs several pieces of firewood from under his stall and chases the warthogs, throwing the sticks as he runs. The warthogs gallop off into the bush. Abani breathes a sigh of relief. The baby is safe. Abani and Hockey are safe. The boys eye each other. Hockey is all right, even if he's Kikuyu, Abani thinks. But he says nothing to Hockey. Good work. And from a Maasai, Hockey thinks. But he, too, remains silent. So each boy is thinking that the other boy did a good job. Why do you think it is that they don't say anything? The next day, and for many days after, Abani leads his cattle within sight of Hockey's stall. Abani is curious about the boy, but still he's hesitant to speak to Hockey. Hockey is curious too, and he begins to look forward to seeing Abani and his cattle nearby. Finally, one day, Hockey waves. Abani walks a little closer. Then, cautiously, he waves back. A few days later, Abani notices the mancala board under Hockey's stall. He cannot resist. He nods toward the game. Hockey pulls out the board and the boys start to play. Sometimes Hockey wins, sometimes Abani wins. One day toward the end of a close game, Abani says with a grin, "See, I am smarter than you." "No, me," says Hockey. "No, me," says Abani. The boys laugh. Slowly they have come to know each other. They have become friends. Soon an idea begins to take shape. "What if I give you some of our fruit and vegetables in exchange for some of your cow's milk?" says Hockey. Bonnie thinks for a few minutes. "We could try it," he says. "It would really surprise everyone in my family." "We will show what we have," Hockey adds. "Yes, we should try it," agrees Abani, "and maybe our families will become friends too, just like we have." Do you think the boys can help their families get along better? As the sun sinks in the day, as the sun sinks in the sky, Abani and Hockey hear the sound of distant hoofbeats. They look toward the horizon. The great migration is beginning. The zebra, the wildebeest, and the gazelle will once again share the grassland. Soon, the boys hope, the Maasai and the Kikuyu will find their own peaceful way to share the land. And then here at the end we have a map that shows us, this is the continent of Africa, and it shows us where Kenya is on the map. And then it zooms in, so this is a great non-fiction text feature, because we have this zoom in where we can see Kenya even bigger, and it shows us where the Great Migration takes place. So the animals come from Tanzania into Kenya, and they go back and forth in this area. All right, so I want you to think about what helps Abani and Hockey change during the story. They start out feeling one way and they change throughout. And how does it show us that by working together, we can help make new friends? I hope you enjoyed this story and that you maybe learned a lesson from it as well.